Walter Essex Clark, the headmaster of Northcliffe High School. I've been in this position for more than 20 years. And I think it was maybe 10 years ago that myself and Keith Williams were having a discussion about our admissions. We did receive a lot of kids that were coming to the school. We had something like 2,000 children that applied to Northcliffe, and we only had a certain number of spaces for them. So we found there were a lot of very, very competent kids who would benefit from additional schooling. And we decided to look very closely at some kind of private school arrangement that would benefit some of these additional kids that were applying to come to Northcliffe High School. And so Keith and I sat down and we had a look at this, and we thought, well, let's start off with a grade 8 and a grade 9, smaller classes that would benefit kids who would obviously need a little bit more care and careful intervention by some very dedicated teachers.
I'm Keith Williams, and I'm Deputy Principal at Northcliffe High School. And it was a few years ago that, having had a son who had some barriers to learning, that I thought we do provide for kids who do struggle in the primary schools, but there are very few high schools around that cater for these kids. And I started thinking, what kind of model could we use that would help these kids? Because very often, although they struggle academically, they might, for example, be very interested in sport, and many of the facilities that they could go to, they can't use because they can do the academics but not the sport.
Keith's idea was that it would be called NorthSide College on, the north side of the cliff, and us being Northcliffe, there was a link. And we went over and we had a long discussion with Pastor Johan and Pastor Debbie about the possibility of using Church Alive. The premises that they did built some beautiful classrooms, which was right over the road from Northcliffe High School. And they were unbelievably willing to help us in terms of utilization of those classrooms during certain periods of the week. It was like Monday to Friday. And this continued for a number of years until we felt that the school had grown to the extent that it has grown now. And it was then decided to look at a new premises after a good almost a decade of using Church Alive.
So we had to start thinking of what could we do next, and we've now moved to 57 Mountain View, which was a house that we've now converted, and we've added additional buildings, and we now registered to have 105 pupils there. So we have grown tremendously. I've got to say to the congregants of Church Alive, if it wasn't for your support, if it wasn't for your help, this wouldn't have happened. At the time, it just made absolute sense for Northcliffe High, Northside College, and the church to form a partnership. You had wonderful facilities, so I just pray that the church will continue to grow from strength to strength. And I know it's not the first time that they've had a hand in education, and they are certainly making a difference. And I wish them well going forward.